What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Rec Room. This is Tony the Brick Whisperer coming back at you with my second video since my knee surgery. Let me tell you, I want to thank everybody for all the prayers, the good vibes, the well wishes. It's been awesome. Recovery has been going fantastic. My physical therapists are greatly pleased with my progress. And I mean, let me tell you, it's been a little more than 3 weeks, and my straight leg, when you keep your leg straight out, they want that at an angle of 0 degrees. I'm just like half a degree away, give or take. And as ideally, the ultimate goal for the flex leg, where you bend your knee, is 120. And the other day I hit 100, and they said 3 weeks out from surgery, I've already hit 100 degrees is phenomenal. It's outstanding. But of course, I've got to get my knee up to par because I've got my right knee coming up here in a few weeks. So, hey, keep the well wishes and the prayers coming my way, the good vibes, because they helped, believe me. So, hey, we're going to do a quick video because my darling wife, Mrs. Brick Whisperer, she did so much for me when I was down for my surgery. I wanted to get her some more of her sets built. So we're going to dive right in right after the disclaimer. Lego has not given me anything. I still have no sponsors. One day it'd be nice. It would be nice. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So here we go. Let's dive right into our very first build. Boom! Set number 30688, the Tropical Toucan. So this poly bag was released on the 1st of January of 2025, and it's already slated to retire on the 31st of December of 2025. This had a recommended retail price of only $5. Small build. I mean, there's only 59 pieces. And between my sorting and putting the thing together, I was done in 5 minutes. So let's knock this out real quick. Here we go. Alright, and we're off. And of course, with the time lapse, what took me 5 minutes is only going to take a minute or so. So now this is one of those things that, you know, Mrs. Brick was, she has a thing for birds, and you know, it's great. I love it. She saw this and she about, I don't know, I would say that she probably almost passed out from smiling and giggling. It's like, okay, calm down, we'll get you the bird. And so, of course, she only saw it through the poly, you know, as a poly bag. She hasn't got to see it built, but we'll take a look at that reaction later. But I mean, all in all, not a bad little build. I mean, the little bad boy is solid, that's for sure. All right, get the little flower put together. There we have it. Okay, ooh, I am so sorry that looks so grainy. I think the biggest reason why is because I do have the camera zoomed in just a little, but when I was doing some editing, I cropped out just about everything in the background because, let's face it, it is a small set. So, but hey, there it is. So a fun little build, real quick. You know, and one of the reasons why I chose a small build such as that, as well as the next two, was because I noticed that my videos were starting to get longer, and so I didn't want to necessarily bore anybody with, you know, extremely long videos. So I'm deciding to start cutting back on the number of builds as well as the time on builds. And in doing so, I'm also speeding up the time lapses. But with these particular builds, I didn't have to go too crazy with how fast the time lapse was. So the next set that we are going to dive in on is, boom, set number 31149, the Flowers and Water Can. But we're not doing this. As you can see, this is a 3-in-1 set. We're not doing I'm trying to trying to. There we go. I think I'm getting there. So we got the flowers in the water can here, but Mrs. Brick Whisperer likes the birds, so we are going to be building the birds. Now, this particular set released on the 1st of January of 2024, and it's not yet determined when it is going to retire. And it originally sold for a retail price of, or it still is selling for a recommended retail price of $30. Another small set, only 420 pieces, and let me tell you, the little birds, that little bird set, I had so many leftover parts because the 3-in-1s don't utilize all the parts for all 3 builds all the time. There are some 3-in-1 sets where that is the case. This is not one of them. So, what do you say we dive right in? Here we go. Alright, and away we go. So, usually, as you can see, here I am starting to sort as I go. So, with this being a new set, and I don't have a whole heck of a lot of experience with the 3-in-1s. At the very least, some of the secondary builds for these 3-in-1s. Here I am just messing with bag 1, and you will see here shortly that I've got to just ultimately bite the bullet and bust out bag 2 and bag 3 to where it would see here. There's bag 2. Got to get this going. Okay, yep, all right, yep, everything is great. Let's start sorting them just a little bit more. And what do you know? I need bag 3. Well, dang. So, I would say that the vast majority of the time spent on this build was almost due to A, not able to find some stuff, B, having to navigate 3 bags at once. Total time on this took me 34 minutes. In fact, you see me kind of go, struggling, trying to brush through the pieces. There's one drop piece. You see me brushing, trying to find the pieces. This is the main reason why I like having my pieces organized. So I'm able to just go grab the piece I need and move on instead of having to necessarily hunt it down. Now, when I first started putting this set together, I was looking at all these pieces going, how in the world are all of these going to end up in these birds? Wait until you see how many leftover parts I have. It is just unreal. Now, with those leftover parts, very good bet that I am simply going to leave them be. Leave them in a bag, just in case Mrs. Brick Whisperer wants me to tear the birds apart and make the flowers in the water can. And if that's the case, then that'll be another video all in and of itself. The destruction and rebuild. So I thought it was interesting for them to use those green leaf elements as the tail feathers for these birds. Thought that was a nice little twist there. So here I am trying to sort as I go, and that's, like I said, that's just what took up the majority of, in my opinion, what took up the majority of my build time. Now, this particular bird that I am building, I ended up finding out after the fact that I had put the beak on upside down. I know I haven't put it on there yet, but I did not notice until I was getting ready to put it on the turntable to shoot that little video. I was like, wait a minute, something's not right. And right now, I guess you could say my pride's a little taken care of because bird with upside down beak ain't even in the frame. So we'll just keep rocking. And it was at this point that's when I really started noticing. Okay, there's a lot of leftover pieces. But very bright, colorful birds. Mrs. Brick Whisperer is gonna love it. How do I know she's gonna love it? Because I filmed her reaction. We'll see that later. Alright, get this head finished up. For those of you in that were in the military, a yellow bird with a yellow bill. Sorry. And there they are. I think another thing that attributes to the turntable shots being a little grainy is I forgot to shut off the overhead lights. So, my bad. But it still looks really cool. And I know Mrs. Brick Whisperer loves them. So, yeah, yes. So Mrs. Brick Whisperer really liked this set. She loves her birds. And, I mean, we got bird feeders in the backyard. We don't have any birds inside. I think Maya would probably lose her mind. I mean, she chases after the birds outside all the time. If we suddenly had a bird cage and they started chirping and doing their thing, I would imagine that Maya would do anything and everything in her power to get to those birds. And that is a headache I do not need. So, what do you say we move on from all that little sidebar and we dive into our next build? So this next build is, boom, set number 31143, the Birdhouse. So this was another of the 3-in-1s. Originally released on the 1st of January of 2023, retired on the 31st of December of 2024 with a recommended retail price of $30. This was another one of those sets from Christina, the friend, one of Mrs. Brick Whisperer's friends. I promise this isn't my first day talking. So we had purchased this set from one of Mrs. Brick Whisperer's friends and just got to work. And just wait until you hear Mrs. Brick Whisperer's response. Shame. Shame. Let's get to it. Here we go. Alright. So this time I can sort and build as I go. So as I'm going, I started finding that bag one had a whole lot of parts. And it's crazy just to see just how many parts were in this thing. But when I finished bag one, I was a little surprised to see all of the extra pieces that came along with it. And look at that. There's one bird just about done. So this set came with 467 pieces. This build took me approximately 45 minutes. So 45 minutes for me. I think only a couple of minutes for you. And oh, look at that. Another bird. But I think this one's my favorite. Why? Because I'm a diehard Cardinals fan. And this bird looks very much like a cardinal. Now, I was kind of blown away with how many little birds they put in this thing. But the little birdhouse of itself, not a bad little build. And I like how they had all of the birds in different colors. Thought that was cool. Now, I think one of these days, and you'll see with the finished product, you see the branch there, and here soon you'll see more branches get added to it. I'm debating whether or not I want to make those branches longer, because when I put the birds on those branches, they might as well be woodpeckers. I mean, they are right up against the trunk there, so to speak. So let me know what y'all think. Should I make those branches longer? I say branches like it's a tree. It's not a tree. It's a stand that has quote unquote branches for birds to stand on. Now this part I thought was very clever. A swinging bird feeder, and the fact that it gave you little studs to use as the bird seat, that was interesting. There you see all those pieces at the end of the mat there. Those were all the extras from bag one. That was weird. But now you see more and more pieces, some bigger pieces. Got to get those sorted as I go. Now the birdhouse itself. This was a pretty cool little setup. Pretty cool build at that. Now I like how they have, that iconic little circular hole to get into the birdhouse. I thought that was a good touch. Not entirely sure though why the Lego designers made such a big cutout in the back. But I'm not a designer. What do I know? By the way, you can see my shirt there. 99 is not a sponsor. Let's make sure I get that out of the way. So this little guy is going to make Mrs. Brick Whisper Freak, little baby hatchling. She's going to love it. I know it. Not gonna lie, my very first thought when I started putting those pieces on the bottom of the house there, I thought this house was gonna spin on the stand. No idea why I thought that. And the birdhouse is ready to go on its perch. Well, momentarily. There it is. But hey, why not? Let's build a couple more birds. In fact, is there any takers? Anybody that wants to make bets on how long it takes Mrs. Brick Whisper to ask me to build her a purple bird? But I guess the question really becomes, is she going to ask because she watches the video and I just put that bug in her ear? Or does she ask me before she watches? That's the question. And there it is. See, not as grainy, but still a great looking little birdhouse. And if you look there inside that little circle there behind that blue bird, you can see the little hatchling. So again, not a bad little build. This one was kind of fun. So another fun little build, but don't take my word for it. Let's watch Mrs. Brick Whisper's reaction. Not only will she see these 3 builds, there's also a surprise in there, and we'll talk about that here shortly. Here we go. All right, so I wanted to get people's reactions to the sets that I build them with all the videos that I have recorded. And so today, Mrs. Brick Whisperer had asked that, these sets get built. And so now I get to get her reaction, and we're going to go one at a time here. So, are you excited?
I'm always excited when you build me things.
Okay, well, go ahead. Or do I get to pull the rest?
Do it. I don't want to lean over you. That's rude.
All right, well, here you go.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Look at him.
I'm really hoping that the microphone picks up that little high pitch.
Oh my gosh, cute.
I'm telling you, it sounds like a sneeze.
I love him. He's adorable. Look, he's tiny.
All right, so that's the toucan. You ready for the next one?
Sure.
Okay, and as they almost fall over.
Aw, they're pretty. I like them better than the watering can. I think that's much better.
So, probably like I had previously stated, for the water can, she wanted the birds. So, they almost look like albino, yellowish, colorful puffins, don't they?
Maybe a little. I thought they looked more like little lovebirds. But puffins, maybe, yes. Because of the red?
Right, the different colors on the faces and just the shapes of the beaks. But, okay. So, good. You like?
I like.
Excellent.
I don't think you've made me something that I said I didn't like.
Be sure to let me know if there is.
You've brought me, hey, can I buy a set? And I didn't like the price, but that's about it.
All right. So, I always get the names confused. So, your friend Christina?
That we went to see Maverick with?
Yes.
Christina.
Okay.
I needed more to go
I
off of.
always get the names of her friend and her cousin switched every time. So this was one of the sets that we bought from her.
Oh, okay. Aw, look how many birdies it has. It even has bird seed.
Even has bird seed.
Aw, that's adorable.
Come here. Get close.
Uh-oh. Oh, there's a baby. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Okay, well, this is probably my favorite so far.
This is your favorite so far?
It has a baby.
So I'm fairly certain you can't see from this far. I'm going to have to get a picture of it. But if right in here, there's 2 eggs and one of them is hatched. And the beautiful thing, you can position the birds wherever you wish.
Aw.
So
Maybe that's what we need to add to the bird feeder in the yard. We need a little bird house. We need a little home.
I do this for her, and she gives me household projects.
Backyard projects.
She has a hummingbird feeder. She has a bird seed container.
Well, they're happy chirp chirps.
And there it is. I knew she was going to say it. All right, so this next one I did not build because I'm going to save that for when I do my videos down the road. But I know that you had said you really wanted this one.
Is that Chopper?
That is Chopper.
Oh my gosh, look at him.
So, there you go.
He has arms and everything. Does he turn? Oh, look, he turns.
The only thing he doesn't do is talk.
That's adorable. Thank you.
So we've been watching all of the Star Wars series and movies and so forth, and she said she really wants a Chopper. And so I said, hey, I know how to get one, and I'll just use the rest of the set as extra parts. And so I had given her Chopper, and I had given Kaylee QTKT, which we will. What's that?
The pink one.
The pink one. So that will all be in a future video when I get to start building the Star Wars sets. But essentially now I have 2 of these sets. We'll just do the build at a future time. So excellent. You like them all?
You're a good man.
All right. Next challenge for me. I get to find a spot for all of them.
We bought shelves yesterday. That's why we went and got shelves.
Goody. More manual labor for a guy recovering from surgery.
It doesn't have to be now. We
Good.
can wait.
All right, so there it is. Well, I think it's safe to say that she really enjoyed those. So, that little chopper that you saw there, the surprise build, that came from set number 75. Oh, wait. What am I doing? I'm telling you, the Brick Whisperer, I got to do this right. So, Chopper came from this set. Boom! Set number 75392, the Creative Play Droid Builder. Now, we are not going to dive into a whole lot of information on this. Why? Because like I just said, we'll be getting into this in future videos. As soon as I start getting all of my Star Wars stuff built, whenever that day may come. So, I hope y'all enjoyed the builds I made for Mrs. Brick Whisperer. I hope y'all heard it. I hope you heard it. The little sneeze and it's cute. I hope you heard it. I'm not making things up. So thank you all for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Share this with your friends. Share this with your family. Share this with anybody you know that loves Lego. And with all of that being said, let me hear y'all loud and proud say it with me. We will see you when we see you. Y'all have yourselves a great rest of your day. Bye.